Welcome to another Kings of War battle report. Northern Alliance versus Kingdoms of Men. 2,000 points. The scenario was Salt the Earth. I've been playing the -28 Samuel Nordberg list, but it is not working for me at 2,000 points. So what I've done is just change the list up a little bit to have features of the list, but not exactly have what I would have at 2,300 points or even 2,150. So what I started out with was a horde of pikemen with the Brew of Strength, a horde of foot guard with two-handed weapons and Indomitable Will, a horde of foot guard with Indomitable Will, 3 regiments of fanatics, 3 generals on Winged Beast, one with the Mace of Crushing, the Sword of Slashing, and the Trickster's one, 2 heroes on a horse with Indomitable Will, and an ASB with loot. So Carl's been playing Northern Alliance for the last few weeks, getting ready to go to the Wildcat GT, and this list is a bunch of troops that I own right now, but Carl is rapidly painting his own, and so looking forward to seeing that. Starts out with a horde of clansmen with a potion of the caterpillar and two-handed weapons, a horde of clansmen by themselves, a horde of naiads with the Brew of Strength, 2 troops of housecarls, 2 regiments of snow foxes, an icekin bolt thrower, a thane with Talinar standard and the loot, a lord on Frostfang with snow fox, and a lord with the wings of honey mace. So for deployment, I decided to work on the left side of the table. I had to put 2 tokens over there, and Carl had 2 tokens over on that side, so I thought that's probably the best place to go. Just try to put my weight over that direction. Well, Carl, he weighted his left side as well, very heavily as a matter of fact. And so what I did was just decided to play a delaying action here on this end while my forces on the left side whip around and try to gain those other 2 tokens. So on this side, what I did was I put a hero on a horse and one of my generals on Winged Beast, and then a regiment of fanatics next to the impassable ruin. Beside them, a horde of foot guard with double-handed weapons, and then behind them is one of the generals on Winged Beast for Inspire and for Harassment. Further down, I tried to avoid the big woods. I knew Carl's clansmen had Potion of the Caterpillar, so the woods were not a good shelter for me, so I just decided to leave them alone. Down there on that end, I had a regiment of fanatics, and then the horde of pikemen, and then another regiment of fanatics, and then the other horde of foot guard. These guys did not have any upgrades except Indomitable Will, and the very last thing I had down there was another general on Winged Beast. I also had one of my heroes on a horse, I think stuck right between the no, they were behind the unit of pikemen, and it would move through there to try to take down the bolt thrower later in the turn. So on Carl's left flank, he put his units of snow foxes, which are represented by Nurglings in this case, and his general on Frostfang, in this case a brass bull, and then a troop of housecarls, and then the horde of clansmen. After the horde of clansmen then was the horde of snow trolls, followed by a horde of naiads. They had the Brew of Strength, and then the horde of clansmen with two-handed weapons. Then there is the icekin bolt thrower. Lastly, another troop of housecarls, and I believe the flying general was right in that area somewhere as well. I don't know what's worse, a bad photo or a blurry photo, so we're going to go with a bad photo this time. I went ahead and just moved everybody up. The units down here on this right flank, I just moved up to take advantage of the difficult terrain to protect my flank and the woods to protect the other flank. The general on Winged Beast and the hero on a horse went ahead and moved forward to taunt him a little bit, and I was hoping that he would move forward and I could just sneak behind his army, but he wasn't going to let me do that too easily, I think. So you can see here how I moved up. I also moved the General on Wing Beast up and just went ahead and destroyed the token. There was no reason to try to hold it on this end with all the stuff that was coming at me. So I went ahead and just got it over with and destroyed it, and now he's got all those forces basically with nothing to kill. So that was my hope with this whole thing, and now my left flank is looking really, really good. Karl didn't move very much on his right flank, but he did hit the Icekin bolt thrower into my General on Wing Beast and froze him when he has a new token now, so we put it out there on him to remind us. On Karl's right flank, the Housecarls moved forward a little bit next to the wall, and then you can actually see his general with the Wings of Honey Maze is over there next to the Icekin bolt thrower. I'm pretty sure he's going to ambush whoever charges it, so I have to be careful which unit goes after what. I believe there was a token over there, and I believe he went ahead and destroyed that token as well, just doing the same thing I was. But the other token you could see was hiding over there behind his clansman with two-handed weapons. Karl had a nice stagger going on here where I couldn't jump my General on Wing Beast behind his army, and everything was set just in the right spot where I just couldn't get to it, and so I was going to have to wait another turn before I attempted to do any flanking or rear maneuvers. So in my turn, I sent the hero on a horse into the Icekin bolt thrower. Did 5 wounds, which was really good, but still I rolled like a 3, I think, and he was fine. Wavered, but he did not die though, when I really thought I was going to take him out. My General on Wing Beast, he actually bounced back behind the army this turn after being shot, and it wasn't because I was afraid of getting shot again, but it was just I was trying to get in a better position to do some flank maneuvers in a few minutes. That one little fight was the extent of my turn, so it was Karl's turn. So he continues staggering things. He pushed me forward with his snow foxes and all of his other stuff. There was no way that my General on Wing Beast was going to go into the front of any of that stuff, because I know what the life expectancy would be. So Karl pushed everything forward. I don't know why he had the trolls staggered back a little bit, but I can't figure it out. But there was really no reason for them to be back there, because they are one of his faster units, moving 6 instead of 5. So anyway, this is what happened. Karl pushed forward on this turn. So his general flew into the side of my hero on a horse, and I think he did 2 wounds to him, but he was not wavered or destroyed, obviously. Here the Naiads and the Klansmen are moving forward strongly to try to take the middle objective. I despise that unit of Naiads. I helped design this army, and that is one of the hardest units to take off the table. So they're moving up there, and it's going to be hard to rout those guys out of the gate, because they are just so hard with ensnare. Then I gave them Brew of Strength so they can actually grind, and they have regeneration, so they're a really good grinding unit. I like them a lot, and so that's why they're in the army. But you can see he's moving strongly toward the middle token. That's the big red thing there, to try to take it out. So in my turn, I had moved the General and the Fanatics into a charge on the unit of Housecarls and destroyed them. And so that was allowed me to turn the General on Wing Beast toward the flank of his Klansmen, and the Fanatics headed in that direction as well. His the big unit of Foot Guard here are cresting the hill now. They're going to start moving toward the middle of the table. I went ahead and used my unit of Fanatics with Wild Charge into his Klansmen as a spoiling attack. I just needed to keep him from moving anywhere easily, because my pikemen were coming up, and they're a very good unit at trapping just about anything, honestly. So that was my movement there. But I mean, I was really my plan to hook this flank, my left flank, his right flank, was working pretty well. Over on this flank, I did move the Great Swords just a little out in front of the Fanatics, and the General on Wing Beast just stayed right behind them to give them inspire. I sent the hero on a horse into the Snow Foxes, and then the other General on Wing Beast just moved back again, trying to figure out the best. There's just no way to crack that front, and so I was being very cautious with him, and I'd rather just save him and do something with him than just throw him away needlessly. So in Carl's turn, he went ahead and charged his general into my general on Winged Beast and whiffed. He didn't do a single wound, so that was not going to be good for the Clansman unit. The Clansman unit went ahead and turned toward my guys after they had destroyed the Fanatics, and otherwise they would have been catching it in the flank twice. So it was a good plan. The kind of formed an angle there with those guys to protect his flank, and the Naiads, you can kind of see their shadow off to the right hand side of the screen. So they are there in the middle, and he's kind of just moving everything to protect this flank. Over here, his guys just came online. You can see that the Naiads are right next to the middle objective. I'm about to catch it because there's really nothing I can do about all the stuff that's coming toward me. So I'm going to have to just sell my soul, so to speak, to try to delay these guys before they can turn on my units, while my other units are trying to turn on him. So we'll just have to see how this goes. This Lord Honor Frostfang did get a charge into my hero on a horse, but I think I'd just taken 3 wounds, and he failed to waver or break him. Wavering won't really help him anyway, because I have Indomitable Will on all of my single heroes like that. So I launched yet another unit of Fanatics into this time his Clansmen with shields, so they are way more resilient. I think I did 2 or 3 wounds since I was hindered, so that wasn't very good. I backed up the Foot Guard to keep from getting double charged by the Naiads and the Trolls. I mean, I thought I could maybe take one or the other, but I can't take both. So I just decided to take it back and let the Trolls come in and kill me if they want to. So this general on Winged Beast decided that there was nothing more to do on this flank, and so he starts bolting off to the other flank, which is one of the really versatile things about them. There are 2 tokens over there, and I'm going to try to destroy one and hold the other one that's out of reach of Carl's forces. In my turn, I launched a devastating combo charge into his Clansmen with the pikemen. They have brew of strength, with the hero on a horse, and also the general on Winged Beast. And so we had broke through that unit, and now we have totally destroyed that flank of his army, and we are trying to come in and get this middle token now with his, but you can see his Naiads are facing the wrong way to deal with the pikemen. So yeah, the Naiads were turning to face the onslaught coming from that direction. I had earlier in the game, when I had the general on Winged Beast behind the Foot Guard, I'd waited just for this turn so that everything had moved forward far enough, and then I jumped him 20 inches back to the back and faced him to the right so he could go after that unguarded token there. And so Carl's going to have to do something to deal with him. Whether it's charge me with the Thane or something else. So the Trolls come pounding into the Foot Guard and did 12 wounds. It was a really good job because they were hindered coming across that difficult terrain, and probably a little higher than normal, but I think the Foot Guard could hold out against that for at least one turn, which is the whole point of using them, to allow them to be charged and then to counter-charge back into and hopefully destroy the unit that charged them. So Carl figured out the best way to defend an objective, and that's just to hide it under a big pile of dice. I got a big kick out of this when he showed it to me. Carl had sent his House Carls into my lone hero, and I think I survived this. Maybe I did. I think I did die. But then his General Frostfang and the Clansmen easily destroyed the unit of Fanatics, and then turned toward my army. The good thing about him making that pivot is now that he made the pivot, he's within 3 inches of that token, so I can't run in there and burn it real quick like I was planning on. So that was a good move. I like that one. So so now, like I said, he's facing toward my onslaught, and I'm trying to get that one token that he has over there and try to keep him from getting the middle one. Here you can see the final position of everyone at the end of the turn. You can see also the 12 wounds that those snow trolls did to my unit of Foot Guard. So my plan worked perfectly. I countercharged with the Foot Guard with 2-handed weapons, and I think I didn't get Bane Chant on him. I just was able to do just a great amount of wounds. and destroy the unit of snow trolls. And now I am pointed toward the clansman and the general on Frostfang. Though it's a lousy picture, you can barely see him at the top of the screen. The other general on Winged Beast, who was very close to the Thane, he would have moved 10 inches and did a double pivot so that he could face the back of the Naiads or the flank of the clansmen. Over on this flank, his Naiads had went ahead and charged into my unit of pikemen. And in my turn, though, I had killed that stupid bolt thrower, but you notice he had frozen my, that's what the little blue chit is, had frozen my unit of foot guard. And so they were slowed down. Instead of moving 10, they moved 8 this turn. His Lord on a Frostfang had charged into the foot guard. He hit 7 times and did 7 wounds and easily destroyed that unit. That was a pretty rough attack. So anyway, they're gone now, and he faces towards the other units there. The clansmen had moved off to try to get to the middle objective as well, and just basically ignored the general on Winged Beast behind him. He was going to get one unit or the other. It's just dependent on which one he was going to get. If you've ever played with the Samuel Nordberg list, this is what the point you live for, which is a general on Winged Beast into the rear of a unit, one into the front, then along with this, in this case, a unit of pikemen as well. I'd even nimble moved my hero on a horse so I could charge him in the flank on the next turn just in case. So with a huge number of attacks, the Ice Naiads finally died, and I moved my unit of foot guard onto the other objective. So without really enough unit strength to contest it, we called the game at this point. Do you remember the other general on Winged Beast? Well, he had came all the way across the table, destroyed one objective, and went over here and took the other one. So I won the game 3-0. Just want to talk a second about the Salt the Earth scenario. I've had thoughts about it, and you guys can tell me if I'm right or wrong. There's been a couple of ways that I've played this one. My favorite one is actually to burn all of my own tokens and try to get the guys on the other side, because if they're kind of in a vacillation mode between what should I do, should I attack, should I defend, or whatever, you get all the initiative if you burn all your tokens and go after theirs. And then they're playing on the back foot the whole time. One of the other ways, and I probably should have played it the last game I did against somebody that had better shooting than I did, was defend all of my tokens with, horde units, things like that, and then just rush the middle of the game, middle of the table, late game, to try to get some unit strength up there. Just kind of creep forward so that you can make it in one go. You don't want to have to fight your way through or anything like that. You just want to be able to edge forward with like a unit of pikemen or something like that that has a lot of unit strength, and run in there and maybe grab that token at the very end of the game. One of the things that you could also do, and which I think is what I did this game, was just attack the side of the table that has the most token and defending one. And I actually did a combination of one of this, which is just do the same thing and then leave one on the other side for the other player, and then burn it right before they get there. And that way you're fighting for the thing. And the thing is, they could burn both of theirs on the other side, their strong side, and then you're just fighting for the middle. But that's fine. Matter of fact, most games of Salt the Earth, in my experience, are all about fighting for one middle. So you could try all of these. You could tell me I'm wrong. I just throwing my thoughts about how they play that scenario out there, and I hope this helps somebody. This is the first game with this attempt at an army. It keeps part of the stuff that I like so much about playing my Kingdoms of Men list. And what I had to do, though, was figure out how to get all the unlocks to make the six happen. And so the way I did it was using, instead of so many regiments, I just did 3 hordes and then 3 full regiments of fanatics. And the fanatics, I mean, they hit pretty good. And, with Dash 15 leadership there, they have a pretty good ability to hang there. Of course, you don't want to run them into hordes most of the time, which is what I did. But I was really using them for spoiling attacks anyway. Something I thought about doing, after I've been thinking about this game, is I have Brew of Strength on the pikemen, which I like, because that gives me another unit that has a lot of swings with strength with a crushing strength, and I think that would be good. The other thing I could do is just move the brew of strength over to my other unit of foot guards that are heavily armored, and kind of act like I do with my orc axe hordes in my orc army. So it's a thought. I'll just have to play it again another time. But I really liked how this came out. It doesn't have as many drops as my usual list, but I think the flyers and the speed kind of make up for the lack of drops. I used to really think that the strength of the other list, with my regular Nordberg list, was the pikemen and the fanatics, but I really think that the strength is having 3 generals on winged beast and at least a couple of the single heroes. The single heroes just spoil so many attacks and just do amazing amounts of things, and especially with Indomitable Will, they are so annoying. I mean, every once in a while one of them would get one-shotted, but it's very rare. I mean, with Armor 5, they're fairly resilient and very good for grounding people, good for attacking war machines, good for attacking lone mages and stuff like that. Really just a multi-tool, I guess, is the best thing to say about them. The Generals on Winged Beast, one of the things that, and Sam has said it to me a couple of times, is you don't necessarily have to use them to attack things. The thing is that they can reinforce one side of the table so fast compared to some other armies. You know, I mean, one dragon going over there, yeah, it's reinforcing, but three birds, man, that puts the hurt on people because of the angles that you can get. And in this game, I ended up, one of them I just couldn't figure out what to do with, and so I ended up running him over to take objectives. And so, matter of fact, at the end of the game, the other one that's across the table from the one you see here he was trying to get objectives after Carl had left them behind. So, very versatile guys. I mean, and the whole idea in this game, of course, is to keep playing the scenario to win. And in this case, losses don't really matter. I mean, they do probably in a tournament with attrition and stuff like that. But to win the game, you don't necessarily have to kill everything on the table. And I get wrapped up sometimes in the game looking at, well, our stats for these guys aren't very good. And this could be better, that could be better. But really, it kind of comes down to playing the scenario and the synergy of your list. And that's where, in this game, you could see that the synergy of the 3 flying guys and the 2 lone heroes just really did a great job of slowing down the enemy and allowing me to maneuver with my infantry hordes. The pike unit that I had, he did a really good job the whole game and basically helped kill 2 hordes. So can't ask for more than that. And, you know, I think in all the games I've played, I've lost a pike horde one time, and I can't remember what it was to. Maybe it was Craig had trolls or something that which had chopped through one, but very hard to take out a pike horde. I mean, they are. I know people, well, you can double charge them. Well, in my list, you probably won't double charge them because I'm going to have one of the lone heroes there to keep you from being double charged, or I would use a spoiling attack potentially with the General on Winged Beast to keep from being double charged. And so now you're fighting them one-on-one. And in this game, and in this picture that you're seeing now, the whole idea is sometimes to be charged. Now, it's better to charge, yes, but you can be charged and still succeed. So in this case, the ogres come in, they did 12 wounds, and then I turned right around and killed them. And the next turn, he charged in with his general on the Frostfang and killed them. But still, I mean, I swapped points for about as good as you're going to swap. So nothing wrong with that. And the big thing, too, is it pulled people away from the objective. And that's the thing, is now his general moved toward the place where I didn't want him in the middle, and now he's over here killing these guys, which was good, instead of trying to get in the middle and jamming me up. So anyway, I was really impressed with how the army worked, and really want to try it against somebody else that has a little different play balance or a different troop balance, and see how it plays against them. Because at 2,000 points, I've really struggled with my Kingdoms of Men list, and I really think that this might be a winner for them, and it plays really well. And I mean, I just like it overall. I don't really see a super weakness in it. So Anyway, I hope next week have another battle report up. I don't know what we're playing, but I'll try to get one out. So until next time, thank you for watching.